in tune with the broadband bully.
Yeah,
Let's go.
money talking over here. I don't understand the broke boy. We don't even speak the same language. We view life from a different angle. I put my flaws on Front Street so they cannot put me on blast.
No.
Did a bid, came home, turned the trap into a podcast. The best damn podcast.
You already know what it is.
The best damn podcast.
This is what we do.
The best damn podcast.
Let's go.
The best damn podcast. We the greatest, we the greatest. Tell them haters they can hate us.
Yes.
Never switch up on your homie for the latest
We don't
sensation.
do that over here.
Keep calling us toxic, screaming out, change up the format. Now watch how they copy us. Numbers jumping through the super chat.
Next year,
The best
720.
damn podcast.
J-Dub.
The best damn podcast.
Left.
The best damn podcast.
And FM2K.
The best damn
Let's
podcast.
go. Yes, sir. You are now in tune with the broadband bully.
Yeah,
Let's go.
money talking over here. I don't understand the broke boy. We don't even speak the same language. We view life from a different angle. I put my flaws on Front Street so they cannot put me on blast.
No.
Did a bid, came home, turned the trap into a podcast. The best damn podcast.
You already know what it is.
The best damn podcast.
This is what we do.
The best damn podcast.
Let's go.
The best damn podcast. We the greatest, we the greatest. Tell them haters they can hate us.
Yes.
Never switch up on your homies for the latest
We don't
sensation.
do that over here.
Keep calling us toxic, screaming out, change up the format. Now watch how they copy us. Numbers jumping through the super chat.
Next year,
The best
720.
damn podcast.
J-Dub.
The best damn podcast.
Left.
The best damn podcast.
And FM2K.
The best damn
Let's
podcast.
go.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. I think we working now. They said nut malls. Hello.
Yo.
Okay.
Yo.
I think we working now.
We are back.
Now see if y'all can hear yourself. Yeah, that should be. We should be cooking with some grease now. Can y'all hear?
We're all good.
We all good?
We're all good.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
We good.
Ladies and gentlemen. As I said, this is gonna be some grade A shit, right? This is gonna be some blue magic. Some grade A shit. This is gonna be the top of the line. This is gonna be all of me right here. Be the best I got. Giving you the best that I got, baby.
This motherfucker, he tried to run with the whole bag. Y'all don't trust this bastard.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm
He
sorry.
muted us.
Yeah, right. I told you it's all about me. I gave them the platform. You know what I mean? I tried. Listen. I ain't gonna make the same mistake that I made with these jokers with the BGST. I'm giving all these niggas 360 contracts. You know what I mean? They do a video on their channel. I want in.
But you say this is the New Testament.
No, for real. I try to break bread, but that wasn't no good for me. Everybody hit me with the M2 Brute. You know what I mean? I'm hurting their brand. But as you guys come in, hit the like button. We got some fun. We got to listen. Like I said, man. For those, again, I'm going to do my speech again. For those that may be new to the show here, something new. BGST is, I used to do on Sundays. It's gone. Not saying maybe I may not do a reunion show somewhere down the line. But for now, this is it. This is best damn podcast, the multiplayer. And Expand Your Mind, which I do on Twitch, you know what I mean? And whenever I just go live, whatever. But this is it, you know what I mean? So, a little better production, more streamlined, you know what I mean? But as you guys come in, type something in the chat. We can shout you guys out.
Mm-hmm. And we actually have two bills right off the bat. So,
Oh!
you guys hear me? So, Chad made 23 with the $2. Chad, aka Lay on the Stomach, Pause, Go 8 and 9 in Battlefield.
No, 2 and 9.
Z and panel, we got one, bruh. And Stuart Stokes with the $2. Green discs aren't sexy. Part 2. # Remedy. We're gonna talk about it. We can talk about it actually right now. What do you guys think about that shit?
You best believe that's on the docket, man.
What about the green disc?
Remedy betraying Microsoft supposedly with showing up.
Hey, look. We gonna throw everybody under the bus. Hey, you know the street wizard, aka Clobrill, with the news out of Reset Era. You know he give all the good news and shit like that coming from Xbox land. Even he was whining about that shit, man. He like, man, how can Remedy do this to us with Control, man? This is how you treat your fans.
How many fans? Let's be real. Let's be realistic. How many of you Xbox guys, went out and actually supported the game? First of all, and also too, Remedy went to Microsoft and asked them, this was their next game or whatever the case may be. They didn't want it. That's why Remedy was looking for a publisher. That's how they got the 505 games. Yeah, that's how they got. They didn't have a publisher. They offered, might even have for Sony. They didn't know. That's why they went. If anything, shit. Sony. They've been a shark this whole goddamn generation. You look at they ain't buy it. You know what I mean? And that'd have been exclusive to their platform, a second party deal. Shit, they did look out for the cookout.
Wait, hold on. Shout out to AP the Shearer in the chat with the ma'am.
Yeah.
He's over there screaming that right before he fucking failed to kill someone in Battlefield.
Yeah, AP my brother, but AP, you dog shit. AP having like 9 kids on his lap, making jello pudding, bread pie. Hey, he said, you just got me killed, man. You just got me killed. He said, AP, they behind me. I go back there, he laid out in the alley. I see a small person bottle of lubricant and a diaphragm. Who behind you? They behind me. That's all he kept giving all night.
Chad, about to copyright that. What was that? I got one.
I got one. Them jokes with they dog shit. I love them to death. Those are my dudes. But they dog shit. For real. And when I'm the starter, goddamn team. Shout out to my man Ag. We had a ball last night, though. After this here, we're going to get back and we had some fun, too. Like I said, as you guys can shout everybody out. I'm still going to post this in a couple of the groups.
Yeah. But big up to, let me see where we left off at. Heath Stevens is up in here.
Heath.
You know what I'm saying? Dang, everybody. Rob Gaming TV, big up to Rob.
Yeah.
Philip Sin 22. Trey's up in here. Paul G.
Yeah,
he said, get the rapper in the intro a sandwich. Oh, he wants some hot water.
You want to post up? Hot water? Cool.
Metal Panic. Raxel. Skull Trace K. My homie Neverland. Hey, yo, big up to Neverland. Just off key real quick. Neverland recommended an anime for your boy. Shit's fire. What's that shit? Vinland Saga? Check it out if you into anime.
And Neverland, aka gotta save his KD. Shout out to him.
Dark Lord Fusion.
That's my brother.
Alvin Hebby. Triple J. Let me see. I think Lex Press 2010. What's up, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Jake Baum. Mega Dave O. And Lay is up in here. Javanal is up in here too. Big up. And Caster. What's up?
That's my brother Salim. Hold on, let me take my phone with that. Hey Salim, he said I got one. My man, Chad, man, spent $275 on Battlefield. He got all types of unlockable. He got the Battlefield headband, Battlefield sheets. He bought a motherfucking handgun with a leather handle. You know what I mean? Oh, he ain't got him. Nigga, dog, she got the biggest gun on the field. Can't shoot that motherfucker to save his life.
Camouflage fanny pack.
He said, man, it's a new map. Man, that map came out, so I gotta get back on this shit. Yeah, I'm a little rusty. I gotta get back on this shit. That motherfucker went 2 and 9 and 3 and 11. I said, God damn, bro. For real.
Yeah, there was complaining. I need to learn the map. You're like, no, you need to learn how to shoot.
Yeah, you gotta see you run inside with that. You can't get to the door with that big ass gun. Like, what the fuck is that? You gotta pay $25 cash for this. Like, God damn. Can't even shoot that motherfucker. And Cass, am I lying?
No. Wraithwolf said, MM2K, you leaving the real one out. No, bro, I got you, Ray.
That's my brother. Hey, Rafe, listen, I got something special. I got something special for you, Rafe. I'm cooking up something. I didn't forget you, Rafe. Let you know I didn't forget you, bro. You know what I mean? Let you know that I didn't forget you. You know what I mean? I got something for you, you know what I mean? And again, like I said, for those, shout out to, like I said, all you guys. Shout out to my man, Killer King, who got his t-shirt, too. I spent like $300 on t-shirts, man. Sending, shit out, you know what I mean? I do every month about at least 10 of you guys that rock out, and not just my supers. And I appreciate a bit of that. He got a T-shirt, and he gave me $1.75 in 15 years. I even sent him a motherfucking shirt, but I buy him. I don't get them for free, but it's a way of me again just saying thank you for supporting me and just not me, just us. It's my goddamn show. You know what I mean? But yeah, come in, hit the like button. We're gonna have some fun today.
Hold on, behind the power switch. Yeah. So.
Hold on 1 second. AP, that's my brother AP. Hold on, I got AP ready. Stewart, yeah, he's on Chris. Hold on 1 second. I'll hit and post one more time before we get on with today's shows.
Yeah. Who else?
Hopefully we can have him pop up later.
Alvin Heavy is up in there. Hey, yo, Neverland, don't get too excited, man. You talking about that shit's better than Demon Slayer. You still on one. You still snorting. It ain't better than Demon Slayer, but it's a good one. And let's see here. I think that's it. Goes to New Orleans. What's up? It's Sean Rashid.
Sean's my brother, too. Sean Rashid. The first Sony Insider leaker that I met. You know what I mean? Shout out to Sean Rashid, man. We got a little history together. Crap and him couldn't stand him. They couldn't stand my man.
Did they block him?
Probably did. That's my dude, though. You know
Christopher
what I mean?
Cherry. Sound like some old 80s R&B names.
So he might have had a few slaves on the split in the field, but Christopher. Damn. Shout out to you, though. First of all, I'm seeing hearing your name in the chat. Shout out to you, good brother. You know what I mean? Like I said, as you guys can, man, you be so kind to hit the like button. And we got again, we have an entertaining show for you. Say the late. The more that we do it, it's gonna get better and better and better. Next week's show, we already got. Listen, that's one thing I can say about this. We got ton of material. Also, you guys got to check out the highlights. We do them, with editing. Shout out to Zim. You know what I mean? We all back here working. We posted one Wednesday, and then we posted another one I think Saturday. You know what I mean? We got the special white on white crime. Fucking, it's funny as hell, man. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody exempt. You might get me in some of them clips and me going up under the bus.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's all entertainment. Like, I don't see, you know what I mean?
On deck, man.
Like, some people get a little bent out of shape, you know what I mean? Making all them jokes, right? But it's just, entertainment jokes. I ain't talking about my family or... To know me, I got a sense of humor, bro. My subscribers, my live streams, like, soon they hop and they dump on them right up under the bus. And shit, you know how I do, you know what I mean?
Hey, they just roasted you in Puerto Rock yesterday. Y'all out there.
I know. Hey, yo, man, my man P-Rock got the struggle. Wait, hold up. Hey, P-Rock, brother. Yeah, man, my integrity is in question. Yeah, thanks, Z. He hooked my stream up. Yeah, man, that motherfucker, he got that on the PS2 iToy. That bitch was like, and like, god damn. P-Rock cheap as hell. You probably got a motherfucker $200 goddamn laptop trying to run the Streamlabs OBS with the green screen. You ain't got enough juice for that, brother. You gotta invest, P-Rock. You got all that shit. We got a picture back there. That motherfucking camera was moving 1 frame a second, yo. Like, god damn, P-Rock.
He running off 120 watt gateway and shit.
Yeah, man. Hold up. I'm gonna share my screen. Hold on, I'm just gonna post this in this last little group here. I'm gonna share my screen and get into today's show. I had some ringing. What the hell is that ringing in my ear?
That's the homie AP the shooter. He said, "Ma'am, god damn."
Yeah, they're behind me. Who behind you, AP? He laid out in the back of the alley. I see a small bottle of lubricant in the diaphragm. He back there slump. Who behind you, AP? Damn, let me see. Gamer Sanctuary. All right, put this in here. Put this in my own group. Leave page. I put this in my own goddamn group. Put it on my Discord, and we about to start. Right. Bam, here we go.
P-Rock, man, we try. Hey, P-Rock, man, respond back, man. We got you.
I reached out to him today on Facebook, bro.
And that janky motherfucker's like, "Oh yeah, I can game on PC if they put all the games." They're like, "No, you can't, motherfucker."
Yeah, he gonna try to run that bitch with it. P-Rock is cheap as they come. He the only motherfucker I know in the gaming community, right? With the fucking 2013 PS4 with a motherfucking PSVR. He got all that shit, and he got that shit running through his motherfucking PC. He got the green screen.
Be bleeding the shit out.
Everybody's like, yo, what the fuck? Why P-Rock X Scrum? His live stream was so ashy, right? He's talking some Z hooked him up. I'm like, oh shit! I go look at that shit. That shit was moving like 2 frames a second. I said, God damn.
That motherfucker be going in the upside down world with that fucked up shit,
for
man.
real.
Nose be bleeding and shit like girl off his
He had inboxed me and asked me, like, what's my camera lip sync. I said, yeah, you just got to go in there and drop the frames or move them up or something. I didn't know it was like that, bro. You might need a whole new camera, buddy, or something. You can't be doing all that shit.
Chapman says Prague got a Acer from Walmart real quick.
Yeah, but Streamlabs is heavy on the CPU. I forgot you gotta put that shit on your Jeep. I don't know. Does he have a? Well, fuck it. I talk to him. You know what I mean? That shit is heavy on the CPU.
Yeah. Call us, P-Rock, please.
Yeah, that shit. The OBS once you're streaming, that's just very taxing on your CPU side. But you can put it to run off your GPU. I don't even does he have? You know what I mean? I don't even know what he's using. He may get a $12,000 PC. You know what I mean?
Go ahead, or Pentium 3.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck going on.
One die and shit.
I didn't even think about that. You know what I mean? But it shit is taxing on the CPU side of things, streaming. You know what I mean? But like I said, as you guys come in, hit the like button. We're gonna start today's show. So you want to just go into the slides, or we're gonna take the fucking. Let me shut the fuck up.
We got to work from our sponsor, don't we?
Yeah, I'm about to get this ready right now. Like I said, today we start the show with words from our sponsor. Back right.
Shit's real professional. We got sponsors and everything.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, but before you go ahead,
shit. Yeah, I'll have you with the PHP.
There you go. What the fuck's PHP?
I don't know, man, but we'll take it. He said he gonna name the show Frame Cinematic Lag. Oh shit.
We talking about his
yeah.
What did I name the show?
He gonna
24 frame cinematic lag.
Oh shit! Damn. Yeah, man.
We're here for you, P-Rock. We here.
Yeah, my man. Shit was kind of spooky out there. They left my man on the ledge out there. All right, so we're starting today's show. And we start up with today. Word from today's sponsor.
Up.
Okay, in your opinion,
I'm not gonna kiss their ass.
Does not mean it's true. Unfortunately,
Just like yours, dude. I'm not on there fucking kissing Tim. I'm not on there kissing Phil's ass with the fucking. I don't have my nose shoved up his fucking ass, dude. I'm sorry if I can't be like you and do that. You do. You're a fucking great guy, Phil. You're.
I like the guy. The guy's the best guy to you.
He fucking throws people under the goddamn bus 24/7. Look, he threw Wrath under the bus.
I take him over you. Wrath. The guy that you were saying that was trying to be you?
Yeah.
Keep fighting, niggas. Down before pre-show. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but look, hey.
Okay,
we can all admit. Hey, guess what, Tim?
Stop bullshitting. Stop your crying crap. Stop it.
We've all fucking admitted this. That Phil threw me under the bus. I was the bad guy.
Man, I'm sorry. You were asking him and trying to be. You talked to him 3 months ago. Whatever, dude.
3 months ago.
Yeah, you were talking to him before that, and you didn't hate the guy. Now
I don't hate him now, but he fucking clearly. No, I don't. He clearly threw me under the bus.
At the end of the day, I'm sorry. It moves on. There's a lot of business going on. You can't say Conquer is dead. It could fucking be here in 2 years, and then what are you gonna say?
Dude, if it does, then it does. But I don't think that he's gonna fucking do it. Listen. He's not gonna do it.
Okay,
Phil's not doing shit.
All you do is cry.
He's not gonna do shit. He's fucking
neutral. Gotta be a neutral guy.
I'm watching the weapon wheel. I gotta mute for my.
You're a fucking bust. He's a fucking bust, dude. He's out there pimping Uncharted 4. Hey, he's out there pimping Uncharted 4. Out there giving away all the games. Out there fucking doing.
Neither do I. You can't.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry. This is Big Gamer Small Talk Podcast.
Do what I told you.
Hey, yo, that's some wild shit there, man. That's what you call a blast from the past right there, baby. That's some wild shit. Hey, bro. Hey, yo.
Doing this Bob Barker. Come on, guys.
Hey, yo. Buddy. Hey, listen, man. This is not even a job, man. I just got to do a better time into just marking. Like, so much stuff happens behind. I got so much stuff, though. But that's old. I got, man, so much stuff. Like, you know what I mean? That was when he did joint. You know what's crazy? That was what happened? What was that fight about? It was over Crack That. It was over Quantum Break.
No, that was when Phil Spencer
unfollowed him.
Come on, guys.
Yeah,
you're not gonna buy the game because it's coming to PC.
Because it came on PC. Yeah, he put
it on buddy. Those were the good old days, man.
Hey, look, shit was so bad back then. They were fighting because of fucking Conquer not coming.
Hey, come on, crap. Yeah, you can have Conquer in 2 years. It's a lot of business going on. You just don't know about it.
That shit did
Caucasian throat box to join the fight, man. Come on, guys.
Hey, that was back in 2017. So we got really
that
far.
That was 2016.
That fight was 2016. That fight was 2016.
3 years later, still no games.
Yeah, buddy, that motherfucker ain't able. You don't know crap. He says a lot of business going on behind the scenes.
Hey, I think Tim Dog owe crap apology. Right
yeah, he doing far more apology.
You sure do.
I'm about to text him right now. Hey Tim, crap. I'm speaking out on crap's behalf.
Get that motherfucker live on air, man.
Yo, we need crap needs a public apology. For real, you need a public apology.
Hold on. Let me pay the bill here. Colonial King with the $5.
Yeah.
That was a classic.
Fact.
You remember that one, King? Hey, King, I got so many, man. Like I said, man, your boy is the hardest working man in show bills. I'm gonna start bringing them back, man. Yeah, you know what I mean? Word is born, though. Shut up. Yeah, we had to restart it, though. That's why. You know what I mean?
Kids and Conquer's dead. Oh, that was classic.
Yeah, he talking about, you don't know crap. It can be here in 2 years. Come on, you don't know crap. It can be here in 2 years. A lot of business going on behind the scenes. You know what I mean? That shit there was wild, Jack. What we got though next up? What we got next?
Okay. Halo Infinite, bro.
Halo Infinite. Okay, I was listening to your show yesterday. A good show. What made me laugh? Oh, shit. Hold on. I got a bill real quick. The Ruham with the $4.99. Wow, that was crazy.
Yes, sir.
Actually, before I even go to that segment, Z, what was that like? Because you were the one who was hosting that day. You had to mute him. What happened?
Yeah, I did mute him, didn't I?
Yeah.
It was. I'm telling you right now. It was me, Showstopper, Mooch, and Crap and Tim. I was just, I had my, I had the camera on, and I probably didn't have a webcam, right? But I was like, oh shit, you know what I mean? There's been behind the scenes, like motherfuckers don't, we know how it be, right? Any boy band, right? But we never really fought on air publicly, you know what I mean? I think that might have been the first time we had a spat no John Doe.
Yeah,
John
only
Doe
with John Doe.
But that shit there was wild. I'm like, oh shit. But I think right after that though, they got back to speaking, you know what I mean? But it was a lot going on. You understand though, right? Real talk, right? Back 2016, like BGST was extremely popular, you know what I mean? And like we were always, like, it was crazy, like we would make the headlines a lot, you know what I mean? I'm just being honest, you know what I mean? I remember they threw my ass up on the bus, Green Disc Ain't As Sexy and all that shit, Blue, whatever about Remedy developers, or Blue Disc Is Not As Sexy, however the fuck that went. They had me up under there. But I mean, so it was kind of crazy. Like I said, me personally, I never got caught up in the whole, Phil Spencer's follow me. I don't really care about this stuff, and it's the truth. But I didn't know Phil unfollowed Crap, and that started the whole Windows 10 fan movement. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, man. I was just bugging, like, yo, you know what I mean? Because Crap, like I said, being honest, he was never really that critical of Xbox in the public.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, something different. Like I told you, we had to talk about Sea of Thieves. Like, I said, yo, bro, I'm about to hop up this Xbox. This motherfucker about to crash, bro. Listen, we're gonna come out this motherfucker. We're gonna attack the Xbox. We were supposed to go left. That motherfucker went right. Came and dropped me. Said, Sea of Thieves is the greatest video of the game of the goddamn generation. I should have known then. You know what I mean? That Crap had plans of going solo. BDPP2 Brute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man, that shit was wild. That shit was extremely wild, though, man. Fun times, though. Hope man don't get offended, though. I think sometimes I say this before we switch topics. Even with myself, sitting back and looking at some of this shit, you get embarrassed. Like, ugh, I really did, you know what I mean? Like, yo, they like to forget that shit. They say, crap, there's a lot of business going on behind the scenes you don't know about. Like, Jesus. You can have Conquer in 2 years. Yeah, they came out and showed Conquer, the scroll on crack for AR. What's that goddamn VR AR thing they had?
Oh yeah, the augmented reality.
Well, what's the name of that goddamn headset they had?
HoloLens.
Yeah, HoloLens. They had Conquer for the HoloLens or something.
Yeah, that shit was bad.
Yeah, it was looking like mama. Yeah, and that shit. Yeah, it was a bunch of shit, man. But just like you said, the right in the middle.
Conquer got the Sea of Thieves treatment, man.
Yeah.
Them maneuvers and everything.
Listen, they didn't want that colorful character, with them bad little words, man. Like I said, I've been seeing the writing on the wall for a long time, man. But like I said, it is what it is. Moving right along. God bless Tim. And I hope they'll be mad at me. God bless Crap Game. Moving right along. What up to next stuff?
We on Halo Infinite, and I think.
Okay, yeah. So I was listening to your show yesterday. Funny show, but hold on, we gotta clear some things up. So Tim Longo was the man who was demoted and then quit on his own accord. He joined 343 around Halo 5. His past work was Star Wars Republic Commandos, that 4-player game. That was pretty cool, right? I like that game. But let's be honest, he took over for Halo 5, and can we say the Halo 5 campaign's good? No, we can't. Like, we can all agree, Z doesn't even like Halo, but Halo 5 probably had the worst campaign out of all of them. So they basically demoted him, and they moved someone else up to take his position.
Yeah, but the only problem I have...
But the problem I had with the podcast was because you guys are acting like this motherfucker is your Cory Barlog or something. He's not.
Well, once you're the creative director, right? Once he became the head of that project. He's the head of that studio, and that's
Tim Longo's the head of the studio.
So Tim Longo is not the one.
Yeah, Tim Longo. That's their Corey Barlog.
Okay, but listen here. Here's the thing, though, Neff.
A year before this game drops.
You are a.
Well, are you worried about Cyberpunk 2077?
It's not really.
Well,
exactly.
I'm gonna say this under pretenses. Like I said that podcast, I'm gonna say it again. This podcast, I will call it a nothing but. But people with
exactly
connections.
what it is.
Somebody mic popping.
Yeah, that's fucking post up.
Yeah, but you got to think about this, right? How much footage?
I moved him to general until he fixes that.
Yeah, how much footage have we seen of Cyberpunk 2077 versus what we've seen from Halo Infinite?
Yeah.
So in this game, the crazy thing about it is this game is dropped. This is a launch title. Y'all remember when the Xbox One X came out, right? We were wondering what game was going to come out, what's going to show this power. It came out with PUBG, which was the hottest shit at the time. So that was okay. That game come out running like trash, looking like trash, right? I'm not saying Halo's going to be trash. I'm not even saying that there's a big problem. I'm just saying that Microsoft does not have a great track record when games are starting to have issues because of whether it's the studio. Even David Jaffe has commented on that and say it's just not a good look.
Yeah,
so I'm just saying, it may get a 100 Metacritic score, 90 Metacritic. That'll be great. I hope it does. I really do. But I'm just saying, to act like that this is not a big deal, acting like that they just janitor step down. Come on now, because we all know if this was Naughty Dog or Guerrilla Games,
but Naughty Dog did lose Amy Hemming.
Oh shit!
And their creative director also left right after the Uncharted 4.
When did they lose her?
They lost her in 2014, 2015.
It was not a year.
And Uncharted 4 got delayed 3 times.
No, they lost her 8 months into even making the game. So that was
Neff was
and they delayed 3 times.
The bits for this one.
Well, yeah, he's Mr. Master Chief. I give him that. But I'm just saying,
But like my thing
to downplay it. Come on now, you know if it was PlayStation, y'all would have overhyped it. I'm just saying, take the lumps, just like Sony would have took the lumps. Just take the lumps.
The thing is, it was PlayStation. You guys didn't care, and the game came out fine.
They known for cranking out the bangers.
Hey yo. So what is your stance, Neff? You're not.
My stance is they removed someone who wasn't a good fit for Halo, so it was a good thing if anything.
Hey Nathan, did they not know that this guy wasn't a good hit way back?
Clearly, they knew because they demoted him.
No, they demoted him, and then as soon right after they demoted him, he quit.
Yeah,
it's not like he stayed on for years.
Yeah,
but the thing is, he wasn't like Corey Barlog, who was in charge of everything. That was Tim who was in charge.
Explain to me what his position is then.
So, he was a lead on the campaign, right? Just like he was in Halo 5.
Okay.
Halo 5's campaign, we agree, was trash, right?
Okay.
So, he got demoted, then left. The overall creative vision and production of the game remains led by Chris Lee, studio head of Halo Infinite.
So let's recap this.
Oh, sorry. Chris Lee was the one I would be worried about if he left. Tim Longo's the one that did leave.
Let's recap this. We got a guy that was in charge of the Halo 5 campaign with
Tim Longo.
They kept him on all the way up until
the game comes. Which thing's gonna change in a year?
Even though they knew the last game story was trash, they kept him on all those years, and they're gonna wait a year, a year before, less than a year before this game.
Could it be that they realized, holy shit, he's
what can you change in a year?
Goose egg. Yeah, he was about to lay a double goose egg, and then and like Zeke said, what are they gonna do in a year? What they gonna do in a year?
But in the same token, what were they gonna do in a year with Cyberpunk? Because the same shit happened to them in CG Projekt Red.
But here's the thing. It goes back to what I said. They've showed Cyberpunk up and down, left and right. We've seen every area of that game. We have not seen anything from Halo to say that this game is in any shape. That's all I'm saying is we haven't seen anything. So
they're about to do a beta early next year.
Okay. So they said they was gonna do a beta of
the single player of the story.
No, because Halo's already up and running. They're already testing the multiplayer. They're literally about to do flights early next year.
I don't know. All I see.
Hey, look at Crackdown.
I mean, with the whole Tim Longo situation, this is what happened. This comes directly from them. Our executive producer, Mary Olsen, will now take charge of the campaign team on Halo Infinite as lead producer, utilizing her many years' experience at 343 to help craft a great campaign for the fans.
Now you do know
bumped him down
that in any company.
Yeah, because I don't think he was a good fit for Halo.
But listen, what are they going to be able to fix?
When Halo 5 launched and got fucking destroyed, they should have fired him then. Why we're going to let this guy that screwed up Halo 5 work on our next project? I don't understand that. And not only that, but they've obviously been working on Halo Infinite for years now. We're talking about at least 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, probably 5 years, actually.
Exactly. So 5 years. Why would they keep this fucking guy on for 5 years? 4 years, rather.
Because the problem with Halo 5, they probably thought he had the potential, but he ended up just not working out.
Listen,
I think
they don't demote a guy. They don't walk in when they demote you, right? They walk in and say, "Look, you're not good at your job. We're gonna move you to a different position." They don't do that a year before the fucking game launches. They knew this guy was fucking up, or he just was not the guy a long time ago. I don't know.
I think they were smelling issues, and then they tried to cover it up by not really showing any gameplay. And when they realized that didn't work, everybody sat around the round table.
But that's not even true, because that's a trend with Halo. Look at Halo 5. They announced it in 2013. They called it Halo on Xbox One. 2014, they still didn't show Halo 5, and then they finally showed it 2015. The year came out.
We got a few bills.
Okay, Stuart Stokes with the $2.
We got
yeah. So what happens if Halo gets delayed?
Yeah, exactly. If anything, that's a good thing, isn't it? It's better to delay a game than rush it out.
Okay, and Ruham with the $5. LOL, that was crazy. Gaming Despair with the $2. Z
Gaming Despair.
Nitos, MM2K. What's up, brothers? What's going on?
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, and I'm with you. Like, far as Halo was Halo. I'm gonna be honest. But as long as the multiplayer, I can give a rat's ass about Gears of War single player. I'm being honest. I can care less about the story of Halo. Don't even know what the hell it's about. It's a planet. Like, I don't even care, right? As long as the multiplayer is fun, right? That's what really Halo was really known for. And especially after 2. No one, because the first one story after 2, it's straight Halo Wars, the online TDM, right? Whatever the hell. But my thing is, like, now this game right now, they just fine tuning everything. The story is written more or less. You're talking about almost about a year. You say November, October next year is going to be Halo. So about I don't think it's much that can change. Being honest, you know what I mean, and again, you had a very, very lackluster, generation, might I say, as far as games exclusive for Nintendo, right? And you didn't promise fan. I don't think they could delay Halo. Yeah. That's gonna be a launch title, and you launching Scarlet. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If they delay Halo Infinite, what else are they going to launch with it? And then also, will that cause them to just delay the console itself for that game to be done?
Yeah, the console is getting delayed. I think Halo will be fine. Look, Halo's always had trouble. Even back with Halo 1, do you know how long it took them to make that game? 6 months. Guess what happened with Halo 2? They got that shit done in 9 months because they made the whole campaign, then scrapped the whole bitch.
I don't think we can use the.
Now, I'm not saying they're scrapping the whole campaign, but I'm saying Halo's always had trouble development.
This is a whole different era with a whole different expectations and a whole different effort.
But I'm just saying Halo's always had trouble development, but the games have come out fine for the most part.
Okay, can we say this, right? 343 is not Bungie, and that Bungie is more talented than 343?
Oh, definitely.
I think the issue with 343 isn't that they're not talented. I think the issue is they have a mandate to try to modernize Halo, like Z says, and it fucks them up.
They said you guys are not loud. So turn you guys up.
Yeah, somebody said J-Dub is a bit loud.
All right, well, I'm loud as fuck.
Yeah.
Let me turn you up. Right, wait.
It could be that person. I only see one person saying.
Yeah, it was Trey's crazy ass, and somebody else said about.
Hold on, I'm turning you up to make you're playing through my headset, so
yeah, I just turned
So
again, Halo's gonna be fine. I just think that it may not be a huge problem, but it looks like it's a problem.
I can understand the concern. My thing is we need to stop acting like that was Cory Barlog or something leaving. Like, that's not the case.
But it's also not just the janitor. Or
I don't think it's a nothing burger either, though.
Yeah, it's not. We have to acknowledge the elephant in the room, right? PR speak. That's why they're going to come out and say, this person here.
I don't know. I would be more worried if it was someone who was actually like a good fit for him, but he just wasn't.
Hold up. Stuart Stokes said, but isn't that Scarlett's big launch title? You're absolutely right. They selling this motherfucker
Yeah.
They sell that motherfucker on the Scarlet on the back of Halo Infinite. You know what I mean? Not for nothing,
Yeah.
But
And then I mean, listen, let's face it. We need that campaign to be the best, and not necessarily the multiplayer. The Halo multiplayer.
What they gonna rewrite the story though? I'm just being like, what, bro? Like, this game is coming up in a year. You got the story out.
So you have the head director, right? Yeah. His job is to oversee and make sure all the people that he's hired that's working under him are doing the best they can at their job to make sure that this thing runs perfectly. Mm-hmm. And if he saw that guy was slacking, or it would just the direction was just not going, they would have had words a long time ago, and something would have been done. So
hold on, let me get this clear for the chat. So Cory Barlog for God of War. Now, I know he's a creative director, but was there a studio head at Sony Santa Monica, or was he that studio head for the game?
No, he's the studio head.
He was a director.
Like, he was basically the top dog there, right?
Yeah, but they also listen. But they also have Yoshida, right? And his job.
Okay, that doesn't mean anything.
No. I'm just telling you.
That doesn't mean anything.
His job, right, is to oversee the quality control. He goes to every studio and look at every single game and play it himself, hands on, to make sure that game is going where he wants it to be. That's his particular job, and he said that thoroughly. So even if the studio head thinks a game is great, if Yoshida don't think it's great, that's that quality control. He's like, go back and scrap it.
Cory
Barlog said that. He said the way that they were going with God of War, Yoshida said, nah, this shit is not working for me. Start over. And he did it. I think Microsoft do need someone like that, like Phil should. Well, I don't even know Phil, because his choice of
that someone at that position should, but I don't know if you want Phil.
Someone should oversee the overseer. You see what I'm saying? Somebody should oversee the head guy, especially when you have a track record of not having the quality that you should have. They should. I don't know if they hire somebody from the outside to come in and say, hey, look, your job is to go and play these games and make sure it's going the way it needs to go to be a great quality thing.
Somebody get the bills real quick.
SS9 Vegeta with the $2 holler said Halo will be just fine to the 3 million Xbox users left. Oh shit!
Ain't lying about that
shit. Hey Chad, we'll do just shit SS9. Hey Chad May with the $2 said feel about the launch the Scarlet with Gears Pop.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Oh shit! And Glorious War with the 2 said, hey yo, the studio head at Santa Monica is Shane Stud Steele.
Yeah.
So
yeah. But the thing was, Cory Barlog was the creative director at Sony Santa Monica, New God of War. He was also the video game director and writer. Like, he was a big deal there. Like, he was basically running the show, right? I just think this guy isn't that.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
All right, he's a janitor. All right, we'll move on.
I'm not saying he's a janitor. Maybe you're still considering
we just fucking.
This ain't no Amy Hennig or something.
He was the director. Fuck it. It is what it is. You say, let me get this back up here. Moving right along to segment 2. We got up next, Neff. Let me get this up here. Present.
Really, we got it's part of the first segment. You know what I'm saying? Neff is still. He's still punching it. He's punching the fiberglass and shit.
He on that motherfucking TJ Briggs from Killer Instinct.
Yeah, he kicking in the drywall. He mad slapping his cabinets. He's mad as hell. Segment 1, hot topics continue.
So David, okay, so we're going hot topics. This is shit. This is a hot topic right here.
Yeah.
David Jaffe goes to war. Now, but listen, guys, we didn't see my show yesterday. Was it yesterday we did the show?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, it got a little. I didn't like to make them that long. It was 2 hours, but yeah, someone asked me. It wasn't there, but we did it like the telling of the show. David Jaffe. Should I find the audio for those who didn't hear it? Those didn't see it?
Yeah, I have the audio links in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go back. Let me go back.
You just click on them.
Okay, hold on. Let me do this. Hold up. Yeah, let me click on it. All right, but so this is what happened. This is what the fuss is about. If you didn't know.
No, click on the actual link, bro.
Yeah, I got it.
God damn.
Yeah, I hit the wrong. I'm moving my.
God damn.
But this was, if you guys didn't know, this was the actual thing was about.
Went all in on the Xbox One X, and that's still all he or she has at this point.
There you go.
How you can't defend them? If Phil Spencer showed up in that kid's lunchroom, and they're like, "Look, everybody, it's Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox." He couldn't give the kid any ammunition. Let me tell you something. You guys remember Owen, the heartwarming ad from last Christmas? Little Owen, where Microsoft came out with their disabled controller, or controller for disabled. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. If they were to shoot this now, Owen would still have his little controller, but all those kids around him, they wouldn't be there. Owen would be like, shit, first you put me in a wheelchair, God, and then you give me Crackdown 3. That's my lot in life. That's what Owen would be saying. I'm just saying that I think we have a real fucking problem if you're the kid on the playground and you're trying to defend your console to the PS4 owner and the other owners of the goddamn of the Switch and the PS4.
Turn it up, Z.
Hold on.
I literally wanted.
This is a low video. Let me switch my headphones. Hold up.
To call Xbox customer
These headphones
service
is low,
on the
period.
screen and just lie and say, you know what? I'm debating customer service between buying myself an Xbox One X and a PS4. I just got paid. It's Friday. I really want a new console. I can't decide. Can they even defend themselves? Is it like when the people did that fire festival and promised like gourmet meals and all you got was styrofoam box with a cheese sandwich? I mean, what would the guys say? Oh, well, let me talk up Forza and let me talk up Crackdown 3. You like God of War? You ain't seen nothing yet, pal. Have you seen Terry Crews and Crackdown 3?
Yeah. That's about as loud as it go. That clip is low.
No, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, but you can escape. Here, I guess like you said, more. Let's get the now. Somebody brought him on the show yesterday, right? The Bop Pop. I think I might have been on that show, Madame. So.
He said the Bop.
Yeah, the Gears Pop podcast or something. Bop Part or something. I think I did it. I don't know. I think I did it. I might have did it for an appearance and or something for a small fee, handling free. But he doubled down on it. He thought it was so funny. Now I know Shane took offense to this. But did he go to? I'm gonna ask you. My question. Here's my thing, right? Because was it last year he was taking up for Michael? Those guys are my friends over there.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Well, here's what happened, bro. I had sent out a tweet asking Mike Ybarra, why the fuck y'all streaming God of War like y'all part of Santa Monica or some shit? Like, where's the competition? And David Jaffe came at your boy like something fierce. I wish I had that tweet. Those are my friends. Leave them alone. We were just in the lunchroom eating cheese sandwiches together. I'm like, okay, bro, just calm down. I'm just saying, ain't nothing against God of War, but they need to show competitive spirit over there. So even he, at this point in time, is tired of Phil Spencer's shit, man. If you pay close attention to that video, and I wonder what the panel thinks about this. If you pay close attention to that video, he's not making fun. To me, he's not making fun of the dude in the wheelchair. He's saying,
Phil hold on. Is that David Jaffe in the chat? Or is that a fan account?
It could be. Who knows?
He says, hold on. We can check that
David,
out.
if that's you, we're talking about you.
Hey, who pay the bills right quick? I mean, I don't see him. But click on his name. Pay the bills.
Oh wait, yeah. He says. He's
that's Jaffe. That's Jaffe.
You can bring. Come on in. You can come on in.
But why? Okay, let's pay the bill. Okay. Man.
Does he know how to get into our Discord?
We gotta send him a link to the Discord.
Put the link to the Discord in the chat if you want to come in.
Invite people.
Make sure. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, I got it. All right, hit the.
Hey, David, come in. First of all,
that's the link to the Discord.
Yeah,
join the Discord, bro.
And come in. What do you got to say? Now, but okay, as we were saying, so you was on the show yesterday with the Bop Part podcast or something, right?
Yeah.
And what the hell happened? Like, I'm hearing clips on.
Well, they went on there and big up to Boomstick and big up to Luca, but they were offended by David Jaffe's his satire. I'm gonna call it satire. Mm-hmm. Because to me, and we can hear when he gets on. To me, David was just saying.
Hey, hold up. Hey, when you join, you gotta go to General.
I'm sending him the link right now.
Yeah, you gotta go to General, and we'll drag you down and mute your mic and let him.
Hey, David, click on the link that I just sent to you.
And then come down into General.
Yeah.
And
we'll drag him down once we get in.
Go to Voice General and we bring you down.
How's it going, team?
Shit! Post, don't fuck this up, Post.
David Jaffe
about to jump in.
Pay the bills, right? We got a couple bills.
Let me pay the bills real quick while we're waiting for David to get all set up. Let me see here. AP the Shooter says Xbox is Milli Vanilli and PlayStation is Wu-Tang. Fuck niggas. Hanila with the $3 said Jay Kratos worships PlayStation. Coop Man $2 said what up fellas. And McNeil J. Chris said David Jaffe pulled up like Suge Knight. Laugh out loud. No one in the industry says shit yet. Laugh out loud. Yeah. I mean, and if I can just finish off real quick, I think what Dave was trying to do, and he can confirm it, is he was trying to say with all the smoke and mirrors that Phil got up there, he don't know the guy. He's friends with Mikey Barr, but all the smoke and mirrors, it don't fucking matter. You're a game company for crying out loud. Like, where's the fucking games? You know what I'm saying? I think that was the gist of his message.
Okay. Get Jay Jones.
Jay Jones said, "Hey Z, ask Jaffe about Ray Longo and Breakdown creative director, please." Okay. Yeah. What's y'all thoughts on that?
Well, so what about David Jaffe? What thoughts about what?
Yeah, or I mean, was he really making? I mean, I know we touched on this.
I know, but here's the thing. Like, you know, I have a warped sense of humor, right? But maybe I ain't got the skin complexion for the right connection. I can't come out and say shit like that. I got what he was saying. Trust me, I got it. What he was saying, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think, of course, he was making fun of the kid. You know what I mean? I don't think that. It's not that goddamn serious.
I gotta send him. I'm finna send him the link on Twitter.
Okay.
Inbox him on Twitter. Let me see. Hold on. You go up to write the Discord and then invite people to thing in the link. Just invite people. Copy, I guess.
I think it was more so. I mean, people can question how he did it.
Hey, yo, Chad, man, said Post came here to ask David for a job.
Dude, it all boils down to a content issue, and that's.
Oh yeah, by far. I mean, that is the issue at hand. That's always been the issue at hand.
Yeah, and people question how he did it. People might like it, but he wasn't disrespecting that child.
Oh no, but no. Here's the thing, though. You know, don't get me wrong. You remember they gave me shit about that when I not laughed at him, but the commercial was trash. Remember they touched it? I was making fun of it, and I wasn't. That was the farthest thing away from my goddamn mind. Since then, the gaming is a very selfish hobby. You know, they got everything for everybody else. What's the stuff for the streets? You know what I mean? And I had them come at me about it, but is it the vocal minority? Is going at it.
I think a lot of people is kind of jumping on him because, in terms of his feelings towards Xbox, it's not about the child. It ain't about the disabled kid. It's about him expressing his ill will towards Xbox. At the end of the day, you got guys on Xbox side that play PlayStation. You got people on PlayStation side that play Xbox. So at the end of the day, as soon as a person get off work, but they're not developing, competing, they're a fan. And at that point, when you become a fan, you have an opportunity to express your opinion. If you're investing in the ecosystem, whether you code or do anything for the other team or not, you still have the power to express your opinion. You know what I'm saying? Crackdown 3 didn't deliver. It was disappointing. It was trash. Don't nobody even play it no more. Don't nobody in the Xbox even tweet about it no more. Everybody who, include myself, I took the L on that. Include myself, prior to Crackdown 3, everybody was like, it's going to be amazing. They taking extra time to do this. It's gonna, and then when it came out, it was like, what the heck is this? Don't nobody tweet or talk about Crackdown. Don't nobody say, let's hop on Crackdown no more. You don't see none of the big Xbox dudes talk about Crackdown no more.
Exactly.
I don't mean to interrupt, but
the guy that was supposed to put 100 hours in.
What'd you say? Ben, I'll get you after the show. Ben, that's one of the Patreon guys. I'll get you after the show. You know what I mean? Shit. Did he get the link?
Yeah, I'm sending it to him. I'm DMing it to him right now.
Yeah, what is he? JCat? Like that's the person who just joined the server.
You're looking for is JCat? I don't know. Maybe JCat. You got to go to general. Somebody got to go to voice general. Their room voice general. And we bring it. Might be JCat.
Yeah, I gave him a role and everything. So yeah.
So I mean, again, I get where people.
I'm sorry. He can need a. You just give him a role. He can just hop in here live. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Jeff, if you're still listening, just come over to where you say live. Just hop and come straight down into here. Pause. And we can hear from the man
just waiting on a link.
Yeah, no, we sent you the link there. It's in the chat, and I think.
Okay. So he has the link now.
Okay. All right. There we go. All right.
So my take on it, right? Because I've been active on Twitter about this.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right there.
He said everything accurate. He says everything that we say on a day-to-day basis.
Mm-hmm.
He did not say one single word more than what we've all been saying.
Oh, and there's
everything was factual. But the only thing is, a lot of the Xbox guys, of course, they get salty when you talk about their preferred platform. They want to hear everything is great, everything is roses and peaches and cream in the with Microsoft regarding Xbox.
Well, no, I think it's bigger than that. I think it's leave us alone. We were trying to battle you at the beginning of this generation, talking shit, the rice eaters and the Jap crap, right?
He's in here. He's here.
He has to mute his mic.
He's got to unmute his mic. But now it's to the point to where now that we know that the console war is over, now they want to just be left alone and they want to play this kumbaya and we're the nice people giving vaccines to the world.
He's unmuted the mic. We give him the man to let himself.
I'm here. What's up, you guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear loud. What's going on, brother? How you feeling?
Not much. I appreciate you having me on your show. I was doing some editing and I saw a Twitter feed saying it was on, so I started watching it. I'm glad to be here.
Okay. But like I said, first of all, I want to say this. I'm gonna get my fanboy. I'm a huge fan. Just want to say that right now. Before, like I said,
man.
Shout out.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I didn't even, like I said again, I didn't even know you had a channel or streamed anything. But I guess there's been a backlash, from the comment that was made about the Crackdown 3 in Owen. I got what you were saying, and and I don't think again you were making fun of the kid, but a lot of gamers, Xbox guys, are open arms. Now it's your platform, your floor. Like what's going on?
No, I will tell you. I plan on doing another stream later in the week, and I'm kicking around the idea of one of the topics just being how stunned I am, and this may make me just come off as absolutely naive, which is I can accept that, but how stunned I am that these are grown men and some women that take this shit that seriously. Not the fact of somebody saying somebody's making fun of a disabled kid. If I had done that, I would be raising pitchforks against me because I would never attack a kid. I would certainly never attack a kid who's disabled or a disabled person for their disability. But since that's not what I did, I'm left to sort of just be stunned that it's like, holy shit, you guys... Not you guys on the podcast, but in terms of there are people out there that really take this quote console war thing to heart. My mind is fucking blown, dude. I thought we were just shooting the shit, taking the piss, having a good time. They're just fucking video games. I'm stunned, dude.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you this, David Jaffe. Welcome to the console war. Welcome to what actually goes on.
It's a full-fledged war nowadays
on YouTube. And in the gaming streets, and I'm going to tell you,
I reject it. I reject your console war.
You can't rebuke it, man.
It's not really a war at this point in time, right? I think you kind of alluded to it. It's this stuff has been over, right? Microsoft doesn't report sales. I think it was a decline all the way to 48% decline. And so it's come on right now. They need to focus on next generation. It's a wrap.
Okay, let me ask you a question, right? What prompted the stream, that part of the show? Or do you have things written out? Are you like me, improv? You come right off the head? Or like, what happened?
I do about 2 or 3 days of research before every stream.
Okay.
And I do a lot of writing, like scripted out things I might want to say and getting video footage and getting clips and stuff. And then once I'm prepared, I wing it with an outline, right?
Okay.
So I knew I was going to talk about the numbers, which are probably wrong. I didn't realize that video game charts were so notorious for specific numbers being wrong. However, the overall sense of what those numbers are, the scale of those numbers in terms of the Xbox really taking a bath in July in terms of hardware numbers is an accurate piece of reporting, even though the numbers themselves may be inaccurate. And so I was like, holy shit, this was a really bad month for Xbox in July. This was a great month for Nintendo and Sony battling it out. And I wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about that in the context of what it means for Christmas. I wanted to talk about that as a big fan of Xbox when it comes to their Game Pass system, and when it comes to the fact that I think they're doing a great job by acquiring a bunch of studios to position themselves to throw a fucking hell of a right punch in the next console quote war. I thought this was worth talking about, and so as we discussed it, I think for me, whenever I try to talk about a topic on the stream, I try to find sort of an emotional way in. I don't just want to be a news guy because I'm not a journalist. And so to me, it was the immediate thing that made sense was, what would it be like to be some 12, 13-year-old kid, in the lunchroom of junior high trying to defend your console purchase? And that was sort of, that was evocative visually. It made sense to me. We've all been there, because when you are 13 or 14, this shit matters. And so that just naturally, I think, gave way to remembering the Owen ad, which I really liked. I thought it was a sweet ad. I loved what Microsoft did with that piece of hardware. But it also struck me as hilarious that here's this beautiful ad about all of these people coming together to celebrate gaming, and specifically to celebrate gaming with Owen. And then a year later, cut to his bedroom and it's crickets, because it's like, Owen, we love you, buddy, but there's nothing to fucking play on Xbox. I thought that was funny.
Hilarious.
Hey, okay, look, I'm sorry. Okay. Now, you being someone that's been a part of the industry for, I don't mean you've been a part of the industry, right? And again, such as myself, used to be a huge Xbox guy, right? And again, that was my preferred. I've always owned everything, but that was my quote unquote my preferred platform. And even with the Xbox One X, I think hardware wise is an amazing console. What they can do with HDR, the Dolby Vision, and all that stuff, right? Great. But for them to starve it, we're talking about they're a $1 trillion company. What do you think? This is your personal opinion. You know what I mean? What do you think their mindset is, or how can they just, again, the last AAA game they released outside of Gears, Forza, and Halo was Quantum Break that came out in 2016. Like, what do you think the mind state is, or they could, for consumers? You say, I see you got to get someone. I just got paid. Should I buy an Xbox? Whatever. Just going forward, somebody that may be on the fence, like just looking. Like what do you think their mindset is? And they still start trying to say on another $5 box next generation.
Okay, so are you talking about the mindset specifically for how do we come out of this in the next generation, or what they do?
My question is, how did the hell
the mindset of the corporation itself?
Yeah, did we get here?
Go ahead.
No. I would say I'll give you a comparison, right? Yeah, I know you work for Sony, and during the PlayStation 2, but me being an Xbox guy, the PS2 kicked the Xbox ass, right? But and again, I still had faith in their product because I felt their passion. And with the strides that they made with the 360, like they did a better job in supporting their first console with the original Xbox as far as exclusive software wise than they did. This is their third time at the dance. Like how the hell do you think they got here? You know what I mean?
Okay, so this is really simple, because the thing is, and let me preface it, because I heard you guys talking about Mike Ybarra and all that stuff. I met with those guys back when we were looking for a publisher for Drawn to Death, which I know a lot of people right now are taking the opportunity to say, how dare you make fun of Crackdown? Have you played Drawn to Death, Jaffe? But we did meet with him. Mike was awesome. The Xbox team, Ken Lobb, they were awesome dudes. And even though we couldn't make a deal happen with them, I absolutely walked out of those meetings and said, holy shit, these fuckers know their games. And Ken Lobb knows his fucking games, if you don't know who that is.
Yeah, I know.
And so it was a good experience, and I really like the guys over at Xbox. So here's what we don't know, right? We don't know, because these are human fucking beings. And I know that sounds obvious, but a lot of times when people talk about companies, it's almost like people sort of get into the headspace that this is some kind of AI that's like, why don't you make every decision correct? Or how are you allowing personal ego to get in the way? Remember how shitty PlayStation 3 was for a long time?
Launched, right?
And that was because that you can, and I'm not going to say the guy's name, but you can trace that back.
Yeah, my man Ken.
You can trace that back to an individual human being's ego.
Yes.
And how I was on show floors at E3 where Sony people, I was asking for the most obvious things, and it's like, oh, we're not allowed to do that because X being the person I won't mention, Voldemort, basically has said that doesn't fit their vision for what PlayStation 3 is. And it's like, this doesn't make any fucking sense, right? Mm-hmm. So we don't know, or maybe you guys do if you're more dialed in. I don't know if Xbox's current situation is a direct result of still dealing with the DNA of, what was his name, Don Matrick, right, who ran the place, and Phil Spencer is just like, look, motherfuckers, I have spent the last 2 years draining water from this fucking Titanic, and I'm just now about to fucking steer this thing away from the iceberg. Give me a fucking second. This is a huge company, and you're asking me to snap my fingers and make change. I don't know if that's what it is, or I don't know if Phil Spencer in his leadership is the problem. We have no way of knowing that.
Okay. Well, right? Before we get into that, let's pay the bills because we got Lionel Bolger with the $5. He said, "Never question a legend." Shout out to David Jaffe, speaking your truth.
Yeah.
And then we got Gaming the Spirit with the $2. He said, "David Jaffe, much respect for all your hard work."
Okay, here's the thing.
It's very kind. Thank you very much,
David. Here's the thing. I think Donnie D is a saint. The reason why I mean, right? Because I'm listen. I'm not inside the office space, right? Hear me out, right? Hey, listen, Dave. You don't know. I was the one that tweeted.
The positions expressed by Zio.
I'm gonna tell you, Dave. I was the first person to lose my life in this console. When the Xbox turned on me, they're vicious. They're vicious, right? But check it out, right? Under all I can, like you say, the head rots, the fish rots from the head back, right? Everything that I don't like about this platform or this console now has come under Phil, under Donnie D, right? We had true Xbox exclusives. Great marketing, themed consoles. There's no wonder, or I guess, why Sony and Nintendo, like you said, or Sony is much hardware and what there is, because again, you got to have something exclusive to your box. And I blame it on the fact that Microsoft is just so good at business and making money, and where they want their software everywhere. And how you say they focus on, they would say, what's the slogan at 2 billion gamers? But first, you got to take care of your core first. And they totally turned their back on their hardcores. The guys such as myself, they should say we bleed green and go out and buy your console day one. Like you show E3, and this is crazy. And this is what I'm hearing internally. That Phil really thought he knocked it out of the party at E3. Like that was a horrible show. You chose the Bambi Simulator of showing, or Fable, the next Fable. Like I'm looking like Garrett's popped, and what the hell is going on here? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just wretched. You know what I mean?
Okay, but wait. When did Phil Spencer take over?
He was verbally in 2014.
Okay, so we're basically coming up on 5 years, right? So
5 years.
Games take a very fucking long time to make if you want to compete with Sony, okay? And so the idea of, again, I'm not defending him. I've met the guy once in the lobby at Marriott. He seemed like a nice guy. I've never met Phil. I've met the other guys, but I've never met Phil Spencer.
Okay.
I have no idea if he is the shining knight that's going to turn it around, or he's part of the problem. God of War took 5 years. You guys earlier on the podcast are saying that Halo took 5 years. That's what you could be looking at, or he could be the problem. But here's what we know. I mean, when the thing is, when you guys say they turned their back on the hardcore, there is a management problem at Xbox. That is absolutely clear, because the games that they've put out, I mean, they put out a Gears, they put out some Halos, they put out a Forza, they put out a Crackdown, they tried to put out a Scalebound, they tried to put out a Fable. They weren't saying, fuck you, we're going to start making walking simulators, Xbox faithful, but clearly something was happening at a management level where they couldn't get it done in the way that they were able to get it done in the past. And so whether you look at Phil correcting course by saying, look, guys, we need some different fucking developers, whether that's with the initiative or whether that's with what's happening over at Ferguson's group at Gears, or maybe, look, man, maybe for all we know, Spencer's been sitting there for the last year going, you got to get rid of this Halo director, guys. He's bringing you down. We don't know the internal. So all we really can do is this, is if you care about Xbox, you have to kind of go, look, this battle's over. There's the one thing they can do at this Christmas that I think they should fucking do, because the Xbox, I'm gonna ramble here. I apologize. Cut me off.
You good.
But let me tell you something. Xbox, when they came out with XBLA, that was fucking groundbreaking.
Yes, Xbox Arcade. Yes.
Okay, and Game Pass is just as groundbreaking.
Right.
So they may not currently have the software to back it up, but I'll tell you something. If you think I'm not excited to fucking play Blair Witch on my Game Pass PC at the end of this month, you're a goddamn moron, because I'm paying $9 a month for some of the best goddamn games out there, and I'm playing it on my PC. I almost went into the fucking store and bought an Xbox One because there are better games on the Game Pass. for the console than the PC. And I'm like, I almost did it, but I didn't because I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to be buying a Scarlet soon. But if this Christmas they come out and they say, fuck it, we're dropping the price to $150 and we're going to throw in six.
Yeah.
Not the Xbox One X. No, not the Xbox One X.
The S.
Oh, you can, Jeff, you get the S for like buck. They always get them on stuff for like $150 at Walmart.
If
not an official price drop.
If they drop the price and they throw in 6 months of Game Pass, right? I think the reason I think that matters is because if you're a parent or if you're a gamer buying this late, a lot of people don't understand the brilliant value that is Game Pass. And if you're out of your mind if you don't think Sony's sitting there scratching their heads going, we have got to counter this somehow. We have got to figure out, are we going to bundle PS Now with PS Plus? And I don't know if they can do it. I don't know if they would feel comfortable dropping Last of Us Part 2 day one for fucking PS Now. But that is Xbox's biggest fucking hook right now. And I think they need to get parents and they need to get gamers on board with it this Christmas. And then when Scarlet comes out, people have been conditioned to go, holy fuck, man, I want that Game Pass shit again. Okay, I'll shut up.
Okay, well, that's right. We got a panel full of questions, so go ahead.
We'll pay the bills very quick and then let folks go. Then I got something I want to ask.
Okay, let's see here.
We got AP to shoot.
We got AP. Okay.
David Jaffe pulled up like Django.
Shout out Sean Rashid.
Sean Rashid with the $5. This is epic. Didn't Phil also cancel a ton of games, mismanaged and tons of signings and opportunities, and shut down Lionhead on Twitter?
Live on Twitter, absolutely.
I just want to thank David for joining the show. I'm kind of one of the last Xbox guys on the panel, and I was one of those guys that made the comparison between
that was him. That was Dave. That was him with that disrespectful comment. That was him. They compared drawing to Crackdown 3.
But the things that you have just iterated on a panel, I've been saying for years. Yes, I do agree that it's a mismanagement going on at Xbox. At the time Phil took over in 2014, Microsoft was undergoing internal changes organization-wise in the company as well. Xbox moving under the Windows and devices platform. So he still wasn't in the position that he was in now. He still had a boss he answered to. Right now, he's executive. He sit at the board next to the CEO. And you can tell the difference between the funding that went on back then and the funding that he's getting now. I do agree that Game Pass is a game changer. I'm one to believe that at some point Sony will drop their games day and day on their streaming service.
I think they have to. I think this is so different and so disruptive that the minute people start to get their heads around what Game Pass is, you don't want to go back. You do not want to fucking go back.
Listen,
if you look at the upcoming titles, you got Gears, you got The Outer World, you got Blair Witch.
Look, you
got all these titles over the next couple that you're paying like $9 for that you're gonna have instant access to.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, right? Okay, so I bought Game Pass.
Yes.
But I also buy all the Xbox games as well, all the good ones, right? I go out and buy that. I like Game Pass for what it is, but it's not necessarily for me. It's for people who, let's say, if you're brand new to the ecosystem, you just bought an Xbox, that's a great buy. You spend $9, you have all of these games. But for someone who's already purchased all of these games, and I'm looking at the content that's actually in Game Pass, most of them are older games, and Microsoft doesn't have new games that's coming out quite often. As far as like this year, they would only have dropped 2 actual games this year. That's Crackdown.
Yeah, but that's the same as Sony. Sony came out with MLB this year.
Yeah.
And Sony came out with
MLB, Days Gone. They're gonna be dropping Death Stranding. They got Iron Man VR coming, Medieval. I mean, and plus the VR stuff. There's just a lot of
David,
he's a
Xbox. He's a PlayStation fanboy.
He sleeps in the parking lot.
David. Let's get the bills right quick. Hold up, we got Chad Man.
I got a teammate on the panel.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we get you now. Hold up, Chad Man. Chad.
Hey, sorry about this post. Chad Man with the $2. This is directed to David Jaffe. Yo, David, Post Up believes the world is flat, FYI, and the next one is directed to you as well. Gaming Despair with the $5, and this is a very common question. I don't know if you can shine any light on it. It is, I know that Xbox Game Pass is a great value for the consumer, but doesn't that hurt developers as well? My question is directed towards you.
David?
First off, the fact that somebody thinks the world is flat and they've been able to turn on their fucking computer and figure out how to join a podcast is amazing to me.
Hey, David, talk that shit, David.
Hit that like button, David. You're gonna disregard whatever that chat.
Talk that shit, David.
That's right. But here's what I can tell you. I mean, I'm looking at it from a pure consumer standpoint. I have to imagine the deals, like, for example, Xbox clearly made a deal with Lionsgate Games for dropping Blair Witch end of this month exclusively on Xbox and going to Game Pass day one. I couldn't tell you if Xbox is saying, look, fellas, we're going to bleed like motherfuckers financially for the next 4 years, but at the end of this, we can see sunlight, we can see daylight, because in doing so, we're going to have our consoles in more homes. I couldn't tell you because I'm not privy to that information. All I know is right now, as a gamer, it's fucking...
yeah, I mean, they have a lot of content.
It is fucking Vegas buffet time.
But David, I want to say
yes, it is.
I want to say
and
this
there's
one
a lot
thing.
of gems on there too.
Wait, let me say this one thing, David. There's a lot of gamers, right, that correlate cost with quality. When you look at a lot of the games that Sony and Nintendo are consistently putting out, they're highly rated, they're highly sought, they're award winning, they're great games, right? They warrant the $30 to $60 price tag. But then when you look at a lot of the stuff that Microsoft has planned with some of their studios that they've bought and stuff in the past, going with this Game Pass model, it does fit. It looks like, if they put out a couple of games that do 50 and 60 rated, and people be like, I only spent $1 to $9, so I can't really get mad. So I think a lot of the hardcore gamers are upset because they feel like Microsoft is using Game Pass, which costs $9, as a way to keep you from complaining about the lack of quality in games.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
No.
Wait, hold on one second.
Hold on, David.
That's a valid question.
Wait, hold on.
Let David go post.
Wait, hold on. Let me get Sean Rashid right quick.
Yeah, okay. So Sean Rashid, and basically it's continuing with that same question. I'm worried that Game Pass model will hinder development. How can Game Pass fund for massive AAA budgets of something like a God of War or The Last of Us 2?
Have you guys been watching what's going on? Come on now, we got to stop this
Post
notion.
up.
Let me do this. You have to stop this notion that if a game come out on Game Pass, it equals mediocre to low quality game. You can't do that. You have Gears coming out. You have the Outer Worlds coming out. He just said Blair Witch, and then you got Halo Infinite next year. You got to understand, and then you have developers already coming out saying, "Hey, our games are selling even better now that they're in."
That was one developer.
More than one developer.
That was one small.
That was one small one.
It doesn't.
Let's get David's take on that, and then I got a question too.
Oh, let me pay this bill. Shout out to Coop Man for the $10. He said, I am a PlayStation guy, LOL, but just got my X, and I'm loving Game Pass and how powerful the X is. The Xbox have a very bright future, but they just have to play their cards right. I want them to succeed. And again, like I said before, shameless plug, the Xbox One X, if you have a 4K TV HDR, plays the multi-plats beautiful. But your question, I guess you asked to David, I guess, how could they, revenue rise to be successful for them, or something? What you had to ask David? What you want him to answer?
Well, it was a concern about
the concern was that a lot of people feel that Microsoft is going to use Game Pass
for shovelware
as a way to dump load a bunch of fluff titles there just to keep content coming that's not necessarily competing with the
shovelware old titles.
Like
let me I have two thoughts on this.
Okay.
The first thought is it's a complicated question. The first thought though is these people are not morons, okay? And so they're fully aware that if Game Pass does not walk the walk and basically provide a premium service for people, it's not going to work. If you actually think, what you have to do to make your scenario work is imagine Phil Spencer, Mike Ybarra, all these studios they just bought, all the people that are hiring away at huge amounts, I have to assume from Sony Santa Monica and whatnot for the initiative, that it's like, hey guys, come over here and make some fucking shit like Deer Hunter, and we're just gonna shove it onto the fucking Game Pass. But I think more to the point, what they're thinking is there's a great example of this working so far beautifully, which is Amazon Prime, which is Netflix. Yeah. Look, before House of Cards came out, nobody talked about Netflix streaming. Before Orange is the New Black came out, nobody talked about that shit. If these games actually do what I think, I mean, look, if I was running that business, I would be looking at Netflix, I would be looking at Disney Plus and going, we have to have premium content for this service because this is going to be a game changer for us. So I can appreciate that you guys or some people in your audience might be skeptical. And sure, why not? Be skeptical until you're not or until it's proven right. But the idea that that's their business model, that we're going to basically win the next console war and go head-to-head with The Last of Us Part 3, God of War Part 2, Horizon Zero Dawn Part 2, whatever the fuck they're making, by basically making some fucking shovelware. I mean, what logic is that?
Hold on 1 second.
I tell these guys common sense all the time.
Wait, hold on. Here's the thing, right? Hold up, Cry Game Reviews. I would like to thank Jaffe for making God of War and Twisted Metal the best games ever. Huge fan. See my God of War statue right here, right? Here's the issue, the skinny, right? If you don't know the premise of the show, this period, what's lingo that's going on in this show, right? And not to say that Sony's not going to do the same thing because it does make money. EA business, when they have a few servers, they have EA Access and EA Origin Premiere, and if not many people buy many games, right, more or less, right, or buy many Blu-rays, but you're still going to pay for, every year your Netflix, your Hulu, and I have them all. You know what I mean? I don't know unless my motherboard a 4K movie, so it does make them money. They're not losing any money, and again, even with Sony, they said give you a PlayStation experience outside of the console. You know what I mean? So they are going to have. I'm sorry. I was saying that I don't. Not to say that Sony's not going to do the same thing, but it's kind of frowned upon what Microsoft has been because it's been the quality of their exclusives outside of Gears, Forza, and like the Sea of Thieves, the State of Decay 2s, Voodoo Vince remaster. You know what I mean? So that's where the frown comes from. You know what I mean? It's just that Sony doesn't have the capacity because of their servers, and may do the deal with Azure or whoever's going to handle it. They just can't handle the traffic right now. It's not to say that they're going to do it. It's that the quality of exclusives from Sony has been tails heads above the competition. I mean, I think that's the only issue why many people may frown upon the whole Game Pass game.
Or not so much the quality. It's so much. It's the genre of game that they're focused on. Like you have a scenario, David, where when Phil was questioned by Eurogamer, where are your new AAA titles? And he's like, well, look at Super Lucky's Tales and Sea of Thieves. You think that is AAA, right? It's I think the concern with the Xbox brass, and let's get your thoughts on this. The concern of the Xbox brass is Microsoft focused on the 2 billion gamers? We're giving them AA titles that may be fun and may be catchy, but they're not the AAA exclusive. They're not. The concern is, are they no longer concerned with going against Sony, or are they focusing on a different brass that Xbox was never built to offer? That's the concern. What do you think about that?
I think we'll have to see. I think there's two things. I think Microsoft could be looking at going after a different audience, right? I mean, the fact that there are gamers out there that are like, I'd rather. I mean, I can't fathom. I'd rather go out and pay $60 for Forza Horizon. Is that what it's called? The new one.
Horizon.
Versus paying $9 a month to play that and 100 other fucking games. I'm like, why the fuck do I need to own Forza Horizon? I'll play it till I get bored with it.
Not play it again.
And I'll move on with my fucking life, And so, but I'm not saying that people are wrong to have a different opinion. I'm saying that Microsoft may be saying, look, we're going to start going after maybe a different niche or different angle of the market.
Yeah.
Maybe they are. Or maybe they just haven't been able to succeed this generation, but they plan on succeeding at the AAA level with things like the Initiative Next Generation. Yeah. We just don't know that. And so, but what I would like to say though about Game Pass and the fact that it drives me batshit that gamers knee jerk is, things like that is shovelware, and I don't expect them to understand life from a design standpoint or from a game company business standpoint.
Talk, David.
But think about this for a minute. The other option is what you get with things like Amazon with the series The Boys, or what you get with things like all the great series like Stranger Things and whatnot on Netflix, where you now have these really interesting concepts that before, like, I mean, take Concrete Genie. Sony's probably going to take a fucking bath with Concrete Genie. Okay, it's not a very commercial concept. Sony never does well with sort of family-oriented games. Puppeteer was one of the best games of the last generation, and nobody showed up for it because Sony historically doesn't sell that stuff really well, right? But if you start putting that kind of stuff, or Tim Schafer's brand of really unique, quirky shit on Game Pass, I have found, and I don't think my behavior is unique, that when I have something like Game Pass or Netflix, you try shit, you sample shit. It's like going to a buffet in Vegas, and it's like, I've never fucking had that kind of cheesecake with that blue shit on it, but fucking, I'm in Vegas. And it's fucking. No, and I'm just saying, from a design standpoint, the floodgates open up to allow a business model. To let designers do more than just have to go out and make $180 million third-person cinematic.
I think the potential is astronomical. The problem is we have comments like games are more than headshots and kills and things like that, and we want to sell people community opposed to inherent competition. That's what's scaring us, Dave.
Well, you say wait. Are you saying Xbox has said that?
Yeah.
Oh, Phil Spencer.
Yeah, Phil Spencer. It was important for them to have an E3 without a bunch of headshots and like I don't. That's what say when they no longer know what they stuff like that. Know what their core. I'll give you an example, David. Right. I went out. Microsoft had a minute goal. Phil, this is to you. The launch a $5 goddamn console with Disney Rush and fucking Zoo Tycoon, Xbox One enhanced. This what they launched. Their new they mid-fit refresh with Zoo Tycoon and Disney Rush. You know what I mean? So and it's been very PG. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Like they're going after the Nintendo audience, and it's even look. I'll give you an example. Even the art style. Whereas, why do I have the world's most powerful console, and I have the PS4 Pro, or even the staring at PS4, and their exclusives look better graphically? I mean, stuff like that. It's got guys like me, signed the PlayStation. I can't take this anymore. I have the world's most powerful console, right? And you get me Sea of Thieves. One game I'm killing gods, another one I'm chasing black pigs. What the fuck is going on here?
Before you go post up, hold on, I got a question.
I would just like to point out, as probably one of the few white guys on the conversation, that's pretty fucking racist.
I'm just saying though, but that was some wild shit there.
Company, David.
Yeah,
you're a pleasant company.
David, wild boy, man. Hold on.
I got a bill. SS9 Vegeta says, so losing $60 and spending $1 won't affect profit.
Well, it's only $1 for the first month. And I found out the hard way. SS9, my card got declined for the second month. It's only $1 for the first month.
Man. A lot of these questions is based off their assumptions and their personal bias based on their preferred plastic. See, David on the panel talking my language in terms of Game Pass, and I've been having some of the same stuff he's talking about. I've been expressing that here on the panel. And if you look at Sony, you guys talk exclusive all day, and like David said, at some point they will have to look at a Game Pass model. Look at the exclusive content that Sony has. I will say that their Game Pass model might be more critically successful than Microsoft is at this point, based on the software that they have, and based on it being exclusive to their particular. So we gotta understand that the game industry is changing. It's moving towards a software and services.
Okay, well, we can just talk about that. Pay this one bill. Nothing to answer my question. Give me the spirit quick. He said Puppeteer was a fantastic game. He could platinum that. What did you want to ask him? Or say?
Yeah, basically just what Post-Up says. You mentioned earlier that Sony will be doing a similar service, and they'd be crazy not to. Why do you feel that way?
Who, me?
I didn't say. Me?
Oh no, I said that. No, but they, according to their thing, they give you a PlayStation.
Well, no, Dave said it too.
Yeah, you know what I mean. To expand PlayStation Now. What's the name of PlayStation Now? To expand on it, and when you expand, you're going to put better.
Software. Because the chat just doesn't understand it. So
what right now?
What's not to understand? Why would they? I mean, Look, if you, I mean, my God, how the chat doesn't understand it, I can't get my head around it. Imagine, seriously, no shit. Imagine like being, and maybe it's because the people who go on podcasts like this and listen, we're so hardcore, we can't put ourselves in the shoes of anyone who's not in that sort of top 1% of hardcore gamers that sort of obsess over this. But imagine just being a medium core gamer or a parent come Christmas time, and you walk into a fucking Best Buy, and the guy behind the counter says, well, this is Sony. They have the best games that are exclusive. Xbox has the same games other than 2 or 3 or 4 a year. And right now it's the beginning of the console cycle, so there's only maybe 2 really exclusive games on Sony, and there's a few more coming this year. But if you go with Xbox for $9 or even $19 a month, you get Xbox One X backlog, Xbox 360, you get their games that come out the day they drop, you get a bunch of third-party exclusive stuffs if they keep doing the deals with things like Lionsgate games for Blair Witch, and that parent or that medium core gamer is going to sit there and go, again, you're shitting me. I can either spend $60 every month or every couple of weeks for a brand new game, or I can spend $19 or $9 or $14 and I can get hundreds of fucking games, and they're not shovelware, they're fucking the newest Halo and all this shit. Sony will not be able to not answer that. They just won't.
Well, put it like this, David. I feel like, right, so Sony has their streaming, the PlayStation Now, which, supposedly rumors are they're revamping it. They're going to make it next gen. Going to, make
I love PlayStation Now. Love PlayStation Now, by the way.
And so, at the end of the day, when I bought my PlayStation 1, when I bought my PlayStation 2 and 3, it's about how can you sell me this console? Twisted Metal and God of War those were system sellers. That puts the hardware into the homes. Now, I do believe that Microsoft is at the point where they probably really don't care, based on Phil Spencer's words and Matt Booty and Satya Nadella. They really don't care about putting that console in your house. They worry about Game Pass. Game Pass is their future. We're conditioned right now, right? I'm a gamer ever since the Atari 2600. We are conditioned that whenever you have a console come out, whichever one has the best games that appeal to you, that's the system you bought. And you go over to your friend's house and they have the opposite system, and you guys just trade and do stuff like that. That's
when you're
always
a
been the case.
when you're a fucking child.
Yes.
But when you're, you got a motherfucker on your stream that just gave you $10 to ask a fucking question. I assure you, he's not worried.
God damn. Hold up, bro. Hey, hold on. I like this motherfucker. Yo, I like this shit. I'm sorry, yo, bro.
Hey, look, we're gonna have to kick Z off his own podcast.
Yeah, I like this type
shit. A permanent member.
Yeah, for real. I like this type shit. Yeah. No. So hey, Dave. So there was many good gamers on many sides, on both sides. Fuck it, I like this type shit, bro. For real.
So think about that, right? Okay. These systems are $500 a piece, $400 to $500 a piece when it come out. Day one next year, when both of these systems drop, day and date. Not everyone's going to have $900 to $1,000 in their pocket ready to spend it on both. They're going to go in and they're going to say, look, only one of these systems I'm walking out with. And generally, that is the one whichever one has the more appealing games. It's not necessarily, I'm not going to say that I'm going to walk in the store and say, okay, I'm going to buy the Xbox because it has Game Pass. Yes, it's a great offer. But shit, that's just that's just the side items. That's the side dish. I want the meat and potatoes.
I think you're wrong, especially at the beginning of the new generation. I mean, it depends on what Sony launches with. You're absolutely right. But if Sony, let's say Sony launches PS5. I mean, they ain't launching with the God of War. We know that. Let's say they launch with the
Horizon Zero Dawn or something.
Okay, Horizon Zero Dawn is not a system seller.
You don't think so?
Come on, David.
I didn't say. Wait a minute now. I didn't say. I did not say it wasn't a great IP and not a great game. But that, what's her name, Alloy?
Yeah.
That character that has not
hit that like button.
That character has not entered.
Eject button.
Yeah, eject button. But no, I see what you're saying.
So David, say Gran Turismo 7, right?
Means nothing anymore.
Oh shit! Hey yo, we're in the gospel right now. We're hearing the gospel. Go ahead. Let him elaborate on it. The denomination of David Jaffe.
He needs to clear it up.
Allow me to be clear. When I'm talking about, there are certain tiers of of titles, right?
Yeah.
And so when you're talking about Horizon, when you're talking about Gran Turismo, I'm not taking the piss from those as amazing pieces of software, but I guarantee you Sony looks at Uncharted, The Last of Us, God of War, and they say those are our fucking crown jewels.
Spider-Man, probably.
And it doesn't mean that things can't enter into that. It doesn't mean that Horizon Zero Dawn Part 2, maybe that will eventually move up into that. And maybe that's what they're planning for. But when you talk about sort of where those games sit in the gamer culture zeitgeist, I do not think that anyone's like, okay, I can get Horizon Zero Dawn day one, or I can get a couple of Microsoft games day one, like I guess Gears will be out before, but let's just say Sony launches also with Halo. Well, good luck, but let's say Halo launches. I don't think it's going to launch in less than a year. They just fired their fucking director, but let's assume it launches Halo day one.
Post up. He told you.
No, let him finish.
And let's assume that like Sony launches with like Horizon, and let's say they do a rezzed up Ghost of Tsushima. If I was Sony, I would totally hold off on Ghost and launch it as a PS5 title. Still put it on PS4, but don't launch it until PS5. And if I walk into Best Buy and those guys say to me, okay, these are the sort of launch titles, and this is the launch window that you can get over the next year with your new hardware, but also Xbox has Game Pass. Come over here to the TV, ma'am, sir, what have you. Let me show you all of these fucking games, and these are not shovelware. This is fucking Tomb Raider. This is fucking Gears of War, Halo, Forza. These are real. This is Metro. These are real fucking games, you guys. I'm gonna be like, you're shitting me. I can get all that for $9 a month. Xbox.
Maybe Game Pass may take off like Netflix. You know what I mean? And become stable. Let me pay these two bills right quick. Peter Parker, Post Plastic, we defend your Xbox with your life. And my man, Gaming Despair, shout out to you. Twisted Middle was the original Battle Royale game. But maybe it may take off. I don't know, like, what do you call it? Take off like
Netflix. But look, Sony could kick the fuck out of them. All Sony has to do is say, PS Now. Here's what Sony has to do: PS Now with PS Plus. And we're going to launch with Ghost of Tsushima, and we're going to launch in the launch window with like Spider-Man, Last of Us Part 2, God of War, all up res for $19.99, and our version of PS Plus. Now we will never launch our games day one because our games are premium. Fuck you, we don't do that shit. They'll build that into the marketing message, but they could say one of two things. They could say, but these games will be out or 3 months, so it's kind of like the movies, they're ultimately coming. Or they could introduce digital video game rentals a month after the game drops at retail. There's a lot Sony could do to counterpunch the fuck out of Microsoft, but they've got to want to basically get out of their comfort zone and go, we need to play defense, because if we think this is going to be a repeat of this current generation, I think they're mistaken. Let me tell you something. I'm going to help you guys out. This is Sean Guy. I don't like the way you guys are taking care of business. I'm going to read his fucking chat. Can I read his chat?
Go ahead. You got it, Dad.
This motherfucker's giving you $5. He says, Jaffe, can you speak about your experiences at Sony? Sir, yes, I can. Also, what do you think about the leaked specs of PS5 and Scarlet? Well, I'll tell you, I don't know much about the leaked specs. You'd have to leave that to my good friends over at Best Damn Podcast, period. But what I can tell you about is my experiences at Sony. You need to ask me specifically what you need to know about, and I'm happy to talk about it.
Yeah, so like I've been saying, like at the beginning of a generation, right? Power matters, ish. But what's gonna happen? And same thing that happened this generation is people are gonna go in. They're gonna be like, "What are you getting?" to their friends. The hardcore are gonna buy what they want. So I'm gonna buy everything. Probably most people on this podcast, they're gonna buy everything. But the casual is gonna be like, "Yo, what you getting?" to their friends, and that's what they're gonna get. The only difference is all the super casuals where I as a parent don't know a damn thing about gaming. I go into the store and I see this $400 console, this $400 console. I need to get this for Christmas for my kid, and I need to get them the most damn games where I don't have to buy them shit for another 6 months. Which one is going to provide that? So if Sony comes hardcore like the Game Pass where I have this $9.99 thing where I'm okay with that because I already got Netflix. I already got Hulu. I already play for Amazon Plus. Fuck it. What's this other $9.99? I can do this shit all day. And my kid has 300 games. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go with that because I don't have to spend more money on my kid. They're gonna be good. They can shut up. They have a whole bunch of games. They can leave me the hell alone till their birthday. As a parent, that's gonna be their focus when they go in to buy something for their kid. Now, us, the one who's spending the money, and we going in, I'm like, you know what? I see, they got all these up-res games. Dope. I'm gonna get all those games on PlayStation. That's what I'm gonna focus on because I know that's happening. But the people not in the know, the people not listening to this podcast and don't give a damn about anything we say, they're just gonna go in there and go for price and whatever is the most convenient.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
David.
I'm with you. Yeah.
A quick question I have for you. What do you think about Sony's success this particular generation? How they've been able to sell 100 million consoles within 5+ years or whatever, and invest in VR and and sell over 1 billion games this just generation alone. What do you think about that with this current Sony administration? I'll put it versus when you were doing games like Twisted Metal and God of War and stuff like that back in the day with SCEA, I believe at the time.
I would answer you, but Chad Maines is in the chat saying, "Yo, wrap it up." I'm worried about
wrap it up.
He's scaring me, man.
Don't listen to Chad.
Yeah. But what I would say is Sony is, and I've said this many times, Sony's management when it comes to managing video games is second to none.
Yeah.
If I was Microsoft, and I hope they never do, I hope Shuhei, Scott Rhodey, Shannon never fucking accept any offers from these fuckers, even though I like Microsoft a lot. I like Sony a lot too. But if I was Microsoft, I'd stop worrying about hiring people for your development teams from Sony Santa Monica, and I'd start thinking about hiring fucking managers, because their biggest weakness at Microsoft clearly seems to be the ability to manage creative software that is still commercial and still basically hits their schedule within close enough to the quarter that they can make their predictions. So I would say the reason Sony is doing so well right now is they have had the time to learn from their mistakes, but the DNA at Sony all the way back to fucking day one with shit like Parappa has always been creativity, artistry, letting people who have a vision run with the ball. Hell, they let me run with the ball and I ran it right off a fucking cliff, but that's the risk you take sometimes. That's how it goes. But they've, this generation, been able to kind of take that DNA and that management skill and somehow merge it with, I think, really great timing. Because don't mistake the fact that Sony didn't just blow the fuck out of this generation because they're amazing, which they are. One of the guys didn't even show up to play. Xbox did not show up to play this generation. And the reason you know that is all you need to do is look at the software charts of this month in July. 7 games in the top 12 are Nintendo. 1 game in the top 20 is Sony, which is MLB. Okay, so Nintendo showed up to play and Sony's having to fucking fight now.
And I'm going to add... I'm going to add to that, to David's excellent point. You don't have any game from Microsoft in a 12-month, on a year-to-date aspect or a 12-month rolling calendar aspect, except for Minecraft, and that's a multi-plat. So
he's
that
the
speaks
second
volumes.
guy. He's the second guy that was a part of Sony that said that in terms of the manager aspect.
Yeah,
wonderful. What was the other guy that used to run? Used to be the head of gaming. The American guy. What's his name?
There was Shu, and then there's Scott Rhodey, and then there was Andrew House and Sean Layton.
Yeah, Sean Layton. I think it was it Sean?
Sean Layton is still there now.
No, the other guy.
You're not. You're talking about the Adam Boys.
No.
Oh.
Jack Trenton.
Yeah,
right.
I think Jack. Yeah, he spoke about in the same vein that David just did. He spoke about. He was saying it's not so much about the development.
That's a good question.
Sony know how to manage their products and their team, and he highlighted the same thing that they were.
What to the vein of you answering some behind the scenes stuff that happened at PlayStation, Dave? What was it like being part of PlayStation during the Jack Trenton era, particularly when they had that turbulent time with the hack and everything, and how Jack rallied the troops to bring everything back? How was it being working with Sony then?
It's the same. I mean, Sony's, at that time we were making Twisted Metal with Eat Sleep Play for PlayStation 3, so I wasn't a Sony employee, although we had our development deal with Sony. But it's really, as a developer, the same. The one thing I would say that's different now than it used to be is the competition has gotten more fierce. Things have gotten more expensive, and so it's a lot it's a little bit harder, a lot harder to get more quirky, weird ideas greenlit now because things cost a lot more money. But it's not really a lot different on the ground when you're making the games. I would say that you probably have, without giving anything away that would get me in trouble, I mean, there's probably more oversight. The greenlight process is probably more stringent about what they're going to pull a trigger on and when they're going to decide if something's going to keep going. But I mean, Sony, from the day I started working there as a tester, and it doesn't always work out. They would release this obscure as fuck storage devices for fucking video cameras, which totally just tanked day one. But it's like, why did they do that? And your bosses would say, well, in Japan, they have this culture of, it's an engineering based company. And when there's something really cool and really sexy from a tech standpoint, a lot of times that will trump marketing going, there's no audience for this. And so Sony has always been a company that puts innovation and neat, cool things at the forefront and then tries to find a market. And I think they've gotten better. I think they've gotten better at finding the market and doing the innovation. Whereas maybe in the past, they've been more about the innovation and the market. You just hope they get lucky. So
gotcha.
I have a question for you. One last question I have is why, why does it matter? Like, it's clearly you guys are kind of invested in Xbox, or were invested in Xbox to some point. Okay. Well, I'm only asking because I'm kind of like, and I'm not saying this to be silly. It's like, unless you're a kid in junior high, even though you can't always afford every console right out the gate, most people, if you really care about this stuff enough to have an opinion, eventually you can save up the money and buy whatever console you want or whatever. Why is anybody over the age of 20 care what happens at Xbox or Sony? It's like, let's just fucking play games. There's games out all the fucking time. There's games on all the systems. There's games on Steam. There's games on your fucking phone. There's games on Switch. There's great ones on all of them. What is this allegiance about a fucking piece of hardware that really drives? Because I've been on the receiving end of so much shit this weekend, and I'm like, are you guys fucking serious? It's a fucking piece of hardware, man. What's the? And I grew up in fucking Alabama, where Auburn and Alabama football would get you killed if you I don't understand this.
Listen, it's just like your favorite sports team. You got those that you root for. Now, mind you, all of us on the panel and most people that you talk to, even on the interweb or whatever, and YouTube, Twitter, we have all the systems, right? We have every single system, but you have the one that you root for. It's like your favorite football team. You pick that one.
It's not like that. If it was like that, that's what my stream was about. I love having these debates. I love talking about games and systems at a level where it is like a football team, where it's like trash talk. It's fun. We're shooting the shit. We're taking the piss out of each other. Yeah. But at the end of the day, we're all gamers. We're just having a fucking good time. That's the way I look at it. But these people I've encountered this weekend, because the fucking Owen crack, which I still won't take back because I don't think anything was.
I don't think you should.
Yeah, don't take it back.
But I'm kind of like, you guys take this shit way too serious.
Well, here's the thing, David. Okay, your question is a two-part question.
Hey, Bill, hold up. We got to pay the bills. We got to pay mad bills here as well. But listen, just for you don't know, they threatened to render my black ass unconscious in front of my wife and child. This gaming streets ain't no joke out here, man. Jay Jones, Game Pass system seller Horizon, not LOL. FN gaming despair. Most kids play free-to-play games. Only problem is that Microsoft charges to, free to play.
Xbox Live.
Xbox Live. Yeah. What you want to say before we get the hell about? What you want to say? Moss. No,
I was going to answer David's question because it's a strong question, real quick. The thing is not to say that this is right, but it's just since human existence, whenever people are encountered with a choice, they always want to validate their choice, no matter how shallow it is. Even Chevy versus Ford. I'm not saying this right,
Mercedes versus Benz.
Yeah, exactly. Lowe's versus Home Depot. Whatever the case may be. Whatever your choice is, people want to validate it, and it's an emotional tie. Here's what you ran into this weekend. Those people that wanted to be competitive about their choice, their shallow choice, They were all in at the beginning of the generation, and like you perfectly pointed out, when Microsoft gave up, they were left in the desert. Now they want to be left alone. So anybody that is critical, whether it's good criticism, whether it's satire, which I think you were doing innocently, they want to do the shame tactic on you. And that's all. You were just a victim of the current shame tactic. They do it to us. We're toxic, we're this and that. And all we're doing is shooting the shit, shooting the breeze, and just giving our honest criticism. And you just happen to fall victim of that, unfortunately.
I guess I'm going to keep falling victim to it because I have no plan on stopping, and I enjoy doing it. So.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't even know you had.
Just be you. Just keep.
I didn't even know you had a YouTube channel, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie. Like that puts you on the radar.
Well, you got a new sub, bro. You got a new sub.
Yeah, you got a few of them. I didn't even know you had a channel. Yeah. Hold up. Von Lamont said it's too many hardcore podcasters and not. Hey, Von, go sit your drunk ass down somewhere, all right? And my man David Hawk said, shout out to the Dread Code over 3. Hit the like button. Shout out to my man David Hawk. David. But again, like I said, before we get the hell up out of here, like I said, first of all, thank you for joining.
Thank you. You're definitely.
Thank you guys for having me, and I'm going to duck out right now because I promised my daughter I would take her to her friend's house, and I'm already fucking late. Yeah. So, fellas, thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. The legend, David Jaffe, y'all.
Yeah, give him a round of applause.
Round of applause.
The Xbox killer.
Yeah. I guess what this other slides we have, we can see them from next week.
We'll see.
That'll be.
Yeah, we see that for next week.
This was a hell of a show.
Yeah, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I told you, man. I told you, man. I got some high quality shit over here. I told you, man. The best damn
I got a question for Post Up.
Yeah.
Why every time there was positive PlayStation stuff being said, you sounded like a wounded moose?
Yes.
Why you?
What the fuck is wrong? We ain't heard from you in 3 months. We heard from you in 3 months. You see David Jaffe on the show want to jump in. Go sit your ass down.
All day talking. You're not.
Wait. Hold on. Fuck all that. What happened to all that shit talking about Game Pass? What happened to all that shit talking about Game Pass?
Hey, Kratos tried to do that. That's fan.
He cracked me in my damn jaw. He came on the show in my jaw.
Listen here, my man came in with the Thor, the hammer of Zeus, the lightning bolt.
And it's crazy though. All the shit he was saying, I have been saying in the past, fuck nigga. So are y'all gonna clown him too?
I thought Tony was calling you that shit. Even he says
Hey, I'll tell you this, Post Up. That motherfucker made God of War and Twisted Metal. He can say what the fuck he wants to say. You on the other hand better sit your ass down.
That's fucked up. Y'all gonna throw me under the bus.
It's fucked up when he threw you under the bus. He figured out to do a podcast.
Read Chapman's comment. Post Up told his boss 1 hour ago he was taking out the trash.
That flat earth shit killed the nigga for real though.
But that just, to me, that just highlights the silliness of all the attacks.
I do want to say this. This is a example that you do not have to change who you are when you get individuals like this on your show. You don't have to come like, hey, Dave.
No, you know what? No. This is crazy. Hold on. Shout out to my post for some. Coop Man, Post felt good about his Phil Tramp stamp when Jaffe said good things about Game Pass. And my brother could only say good show, fellas. Much respect to Jaffe. Appreciate it, man.
This is a great show. This is a great show.
Before we go,
great questions from the panel, man. Y'all asked some great, outside of what he came on for, y'all asked some great questions.
But here's the thing, like, right, real talk. I mean, I'm gonna say this before we go, right? I got where he was going with it because I tried to go there, but again, I got a strike and they broke my goddamn jaw, right? So remember I said
the Bobby Brown jaw.
Yeah, I had the coke mouth, right? Like, not Bobby Brown jaw was moving that jaw over there. It's the Last Temptation. Yeah, I had my shit was shaking, right? But I was saying that basically that Microsoft got this for diabetic gamers for the handing. It was the shit for the streets, right? They came out in full force and knock me smooth the fuck out. So I got what he was saying, you know what I mean? And I don't think again that he was making fun of the child. Just by talking him out, you see the type of personality he has. You know what I mean? Like, this is this human, I guess, it is what it is. I don't think again he was making fun of the child. He was making fun of the fact, like, damn, Crackdown 3. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
See, they took David Jaffe as a corporate suit.
Yeah, I think,
instead of a regular guy that is just out here like us. That's the problem, right?
He fit in with the show and how we are
because they know his track record.
Exactly.
He fit in with the show and how we are, yo.
Exactly. So
that's why I said
shit just like us.
That's why I said that these attacks don't make any sense. David's been envious of Xbox Game Pass. David's been friendly towards Xbox, and even though he decided to be critical one time, everybody wanted to pile on and do this shit show, and it backfired to me. I think.
Let me tell y'all why. It's just like how I did it. It's just like how I said it on Twitter. When it comes down to it, everybody looked at it. And it was just searching for something to find out of this because they knew
nobody talks about what he was talking about.
They knew they were getting their legs beaten in bad, so they went for the SJW route, which is, in my opinion, kind of fucked up.
I think another thing was that we didn't crucify him. We more to say, hey, let's get an understanding of why you said what you said.
Exactly.
In particular, whether opposed to just pushing our personal opinion or our personal bias on him.
Well, I know what. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't got one leg. I could pull that off, but just by again him being on the show for the hour how long he was here, I got to see inside how he is. Like again, not knowing him, you ain't seen him. All you see is the character next to him. But seeing how he is, like, it's just a sense of humor. You know what I mean? This is coming off. So cool as hell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. So I think again, the Xbox getting the shit kicked out of him, and
once again, we did not change the way we talk or how we act on the.
Oh no.
No, they said Z put on his FC Violent voice.
They said Z put on FC Violent.
You gotta leave my man FC Violent alone,
Bill collective voice, Z.
You gotta leave my man FC Violent alone.
You was getting your FC Violent.
Hold on. The part that killed me was when he said Horizon Zero Dawn wasn't a system seller, and who cares about the next?
He said that fucking hour.
Hey,
Kratos, he was Kratos.
I ain't never heard.
Y'all know I wanted to
Gran Turismo 7. Who cares?
I wanted to say something.
Hold on, Kratos, he was beating your fucking legs in, man.
But guess what? That motherfucker made God a 1
bro. He was like,
Horizon Zero Dawn as a console.
Ain't gonna lie.
Man, I heard Bond drunk when he said that.
He snuck me, but he didn't.
Doesn't matter no more.
No. Hey, I'm gonna use post-up logic. No. But check this out. He did explain it though. He went back and explained it, right? And then it came out proper. Well, look, Sony looked as Uncharted, The Last of Us, and games like that as their top tier, whereas everything else is kind of below it, like a tier B. When it comes to sales,
just accept the fact that Sony fanboy shit wasn't working on this.
Hold on. Before we close out, Z, do you want to just do the last slide? That's just the closing words.
Okay, all right. But listen. We're gonna take over the same energy, the same talk. We're gonna go live over to Twitch. Again, still bugging the fuck out about if you want to join us, same shit. This is the after party, more or less. I'm gonna close with the what do you call it? The word of the day, right?
Yeah, everyone mute your mics.
Mute your mic, everybody.
Before you do that, I just want to say Post Up was cooning hard.
Oh,
what? See what I see? See, I told you, sir. I told you. I told
him, David. They ain't want to listen to me, David.
He's just a concerned custodian.
Let me get it to the
mute your mic, everybody.
Okay, let me close it with the word of the day. Display capture. Bam. This is sheer lunacy. And any of you Xbox guys out there damage controllers, you need to be stoned. This is horrible. If you want your preferred platform to do better, you have to be honest. This is trash. It's an American console. Why the hell am I waiting for the Tokyo Game Show? Do you know how stupid you sound saying it? This is bananas. This is trash. PlayStation caters to their audience. Nintendo caters to their audience. Microsoft ain't the empire. Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. Again, it's the Best Damn Podcast. Shout out, like I said, it's something new that we're doing. Shout out to everybody that rocked out with us live. We're gonna come over here to what do you call it? Over to Twitch. Come rock out with us live.
You are now in tune with the Broadband Bullies.
Yeah.
Let's go.